So now on the show, I want to take a look at one of the more interesting docos that's out at the moment in cinemas. The doco is called River, and I know straight away this is not going to be a documentary that everybody out there is going to enjoy. It's directed by Jennifer Peedham and Joseph Nisdi, you'd say that name. And it's a documentary that looks at rivers in general, rivers from right around the world, how we as humans interact with them, how rivers are formed, the importance of rivers to civilization, and unfortunately, what we as a human race are currently doing to rivers with the destruction of things that we do, like damming and pollution and things like that. Now, why I say this is not your average documentary is that this is a documentary that is filmed in a very unique way. The footage that you see here is absolutely amazing. It is something that you would expect Ken Duncan to produce if he was a documentary filmmaker or a cinematographer. There are stunning shots of rivers right around the world. But what makes this different is this is not the kind of documentary where you're going to see an interview with a scientist talking about what's happening to rivers around the world. You're not going to see those sit-down interviews because the way this doco works is, for a majority of the film, it shows you these amazing images of rivers with orchestral music playing over the top of it. Now, having said that, William Dafoe does narrate this documentary, so you do learn some things about rivers as you go along. I'm not going to say that I went into this documentary and I didn't learn anything, because I did learn some things from watching this documentary, especially some very interesting things about how rivers help our ecosystem and what's happening with damming and stuff like that around the world. That was very interesting. What I don't think this is, though, is the kind of documentary that you could use to educate high school kids or primary school kids about rivers. I think they would lose their attention span pretty quickly, because it is, like I said, it's just images, orchestral music, and William Dafoe narrating. It kind of has the feeling of an IMAX documentary, and I would love to have seen this filmed for IMAX if they were going to do it that way. It's still an interesting enough documentary, but I would say it's more of an art house documentary. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 5. I know it does have a limited audience, but I watched it, I enjoyed it, but it's probably not a film I would go back and watch again. So I'm going to give it 3 out of 5.